Welcome to my channel, Galactica Musings. My name is Elizabeth, and well, I'm just putting that on mute so we don't hear an echo. So, what do you think about the latest from Mary about the Andromedan Fed talking to her? Uh, was that a warning? Oh my God. Well, I don't know about you, but when someone dies here, uh, in my personal experience, when someone dies close to me, I read like a whole book. I spend all day reading. I just read science fiction book, whatever book I get my hands on. Doesn't matter the title. I don't care. I read it. That's all I can do. I just read. That's the only time I actually read a book like that. So that's what I've been doing. I've been knitting. Yeah, I'm knitting. Uh, and I ate a whole chocolate last night. And this morning I ate it. Those big bars, ate it. I'm hibernating, apparently. That's what I tell people, because it's winter here and it's a bit cold. Anyway, why I'm telling you this, because I feel like somebody died. Not in my personal life here as a human, no. But since the other, not the last video, but the other video, I knew there was something fishy going on. Something, we are on the border of, just, some people say we are going to war. Yeah, we are like at the edge of it. There's no doubt about it. What type of war? Some say we are already at war. Yes, we are. But it's a silent one. It's one of those undercover type of wars, And then the other war that people like, a lot of people want to do, is the one that you basically take a ship and shoot. That's the type of war that really I don't want to happen. If there is the need for it, because it is understandable, I will go and push the button. But I am not in that position. I don't think any human is in that position. We here are also at war. I haven't listened to the news. I don't listen to it. There's no point. A lot of it is made up. We all know that. Yes, we are getting, everything's polluted. Everything's poisoned. The water, the food, you name it. Yes. And apparently the monkey now is the monkey's turn now. You know what I mean, isn't it? That's from the latest of this institution. What is it called? What's the name of it? I don't want to say it, because in case YouTube does something to my video. It's the monkey's turn. Tomorrow it will be the zebra's turn. I don't believe you, obviously. So that's another war. So that's what they're doing to us. What are they doing up there to the races up there? Well, that's what I think Mary's trying to tell us, and how they are coping with it. Yesterday, I was going to make a video as soon as I heard Mary's video in regards to the Andromedan that spoke to her, that rudely spoke to her. But I couldn't do one. I didn't do a video live like I am doing now, because, to be honest, I just didn't know where I stood. I don't know where I stand in regards to this. I don't know. I don't know how to look at this. Um, I wasn't sure exactly where I am standing, even though I am learning quickly where I'm standing and what my move is, what I'm going to do next here as a human, as the Elizabeth human that I am at my age and this society and whatever character I play in the society. So where's my stand as that person? I wasn't sure exactly. So I had to think about it. So I ate chocolate, I read a book, and I started knitting. That's not normal for me. For some people, that's normal, not for me. Um, and I think I know now where I am standing. In all honesty, I do not want a war. Uh, Far from it, which is why I was very disappointed when Captain Gorel um, gave us his experience in the Viera. I was disappointed for the simple reason that when you do not have any communication, when you are unable to communicate, when you are unable to have some sort of verbal communication in regards to a problem, a situation, whatever that is, you are pushed into doing, getting, you invite violence because it gets worse. They step on you. It's like if the dog comes to you and wants to bite you, you're not going to let it. So violence is the next option. It's the next step. I do not want violence because I've had violence. I've had violence here and I've had violence there. And I've been part of that violence. I've been part of pushing the button. I've been part of the war that a lot of people want down here. They say, let's go to war. It's the only way. Yeah, it's been done. I'm not saying I remember because I think I came down here and in immersion and I made it so that I don't remember. I don't remember my communications with the Federation, that I don't remember being there and fighting the fight and being part of that. Because it was the only way, I think, to do any type of work that we've come to do down here. And I think that after after you go through the fight, after you go through the violence, you ponder and you think, what else could we do? What could we have done? What's another way? There's got to be another way. And I think we see this earth as a little black colored planet that needs, some say in the new age, light. I don't like those cliches at all. I dislike them actually. But apparently, many of us decided, okay, so how about we try and shift the frequency the dark frequency, the negative frequency, the low frequency that's here. We need to shift it. So how about we come down here and we try to shift it by, as they say, oh, I hate these cliches, the best version of yourself. Which is what the 900 Taygitans are getting ready to do. And I think that's my stand here in regards to all this. I am here to tip the scales to the positive frequency, to the higher frequency. That's my stand. I don't want to, so I try everything. I'm going to try everything to be that in my own way. We all have our unique lives here, whatever that may be. I am Elizabeth in a society. I have my own little corner in the society. I interact with other humans, other programs, because most of them are programs. 80% of the population here is just a program. So I interact and have my dynamics with them, and I hold my own. That's what we came here to hold our own against this society, crippled society, and experience a higher frequency. And for us to experience that high frequency, we have to be that high frequency. It's not going to change for us. Just because we wanted it, it's not going to change for us. We have to be it. We have to be that frequency so that we can experience it. So it's like, you have to be happy. Basically, that's it. So that it can be reflected back to you. And we know that this is not all about you. It's about the whole planet. So that's one way I decided to do this. So that's where I stand in regards to this. If it comes to violence, I will be violent if I have to defend myself. That's the last straw. That's the last thing I want to do. But as long as I maintain my high frequency, it's not going to come to that. Because that's what all the news that you see, all the craziness that you see here, is for you to lower your frequency and come to the position where you will finally need to become violent. That's the whole reason of them doing all this spectacle, for you to lower your frequency and have the only option to be violent, to defend yourself. So you came all this way here. I came all this way here. And you lived through whatever you lived through, which I'm sure it's, ugh, I can imagine. What are you going to do? This is it. You are standing right in the middle of it. What are you going to do? What's your stand? You need to make a decision. What's your stand? They are in the orbit. They have to make their own decision. What's going to happen there? They're taking a stand. They're getting together. Other races are getting together. And things will get icky. How icky? How violent? Hopefully not that violent. And we as humans We cannot go to orbit and do something about it. We're standing here on the ground and we have to do what we came here to do. You need to know where you stand. Where do you stand? This is a time where you need to make a decision. I am going to do everything I can to be happy, to see that reflected in my experience. When I see it reflected in my experience, that's when I know I'm doing good. It's going well. I'm doing what I came here to do. When you see it reflected in your experience, that's when you know. That's when you know because you think, am I doing anything here? I mean, is my presence here doing any good? I think we're all asking ourselves the same question. Am I doing enough? Am I enough? Should I be doing something else? Did I fail? Did I came to do something and I failed at it? Sincerely, I've asked myself that question. Did I fail? Broke my heart when I had to ask myself that question. Did I fail? Like, did I make a wrong turn? Did I waste my life doing something that didn't didn't help at all? I've asked myself that question and it hurts like hell. My stand is be the best frequency you can be in this little black low frequency planet that is at the moment. The more seeds, star seed people, extraterrestrials, whatever you want to call yourself, does its best to be the highest frequency they can be, that's a win. To me, in my book, that's a win. That's the only thing we can do. And I hope for you and me, and I really hope for you and me that it doesn't come to a place where we need to become violent. I really hope not. Um, and that's going to be reflected in our experience. I know of someone who said, well, what if you are this part of your experience that's not doing well? Well, she said, how about you concentrate on the other things that are going well? I'm like, what do you mean? If you concentrate on the things that are going well and just put your attention on the things that are going well, that will automatically raise your frequency. And that negative aspect that's not going well in your life will have to match it. Will have to match the other high frequency that's on the other part of your life. It has to match. So sometimes you don't even have to worry or be preoccupied in the bad aspect of your life. You can do it the other way. Concentrate on the good stuff, and that will raise the frequency of that because it has to match. And so, now, who is the Andromedan? Apparently, he's a famous one down here. I don't know. Some people think it's the one that talks to Alex Collier. There were two, apparently. One was Versailles, if I'm not mistaken, and the other one was Morian, something like that. I'm not sure. I don't know who the other Andromedan is. I don't go to other circles that talk about the Federation. And to be honest, I don't know. So if you do know, of other Andromedans that are famous down here? Well, their name is famous because they're not down here. Let us know in the comments. We would love to know. And also, was that a warning from the Andromedan, from the Federation? Because he's not representing Andromedans as a whole. He's representing Federation. Was that a warning uh, from the Federation to the Taigetans and to us? Some people, I read in the comments, some people say, well, the whole point of talking to Mary about this, because they do believe in karma, maybe it was a way for them to get rid of it, rid of the karma that they could receive. Because if they tell people what they're going to do, then they believe they don't have karma. So the whole idea wasn't just to talk to her or to try and do something or persuade her to do something. Maybe it was just to release karma. I think that's quite plausible. I wouldn't go. I think it's plausible. It could have been just a warning. For what? Are they going to what? They're not going to have internet now, the Taigetans, so they will be unable to communicate. Maybe that's what they're going to do. If that happens, we're not going to get any videos from them. Gosha and Robert might not be able to talk to them. That's another option. Could Mary's channel, YouTube channel, be removed? Then again, someone said that, well, the YouTube channel follows YouTube rules, Earth rules, not Federation rules in some way. So they can't do anything. So as far as we can tell, Mary's channel is fine. YouTube is not doing anything about it. She's not going against the guidelines, any YouTube rules. So that's all right. As far as YouTube knows, and people that don't like the information, they just say it's science fiction. Fine, it is science fiction. So her channel follows the rules in that regard. So I think that will stay. It's not going to go anywhere. However, the internet, the access that they have to us through internet, that might be cut off. It's understandable, but not for long. I don't think they're just going to say, oh, well, we can communicate. What are we going to do? That's it. No, I think they will find a way. And I don't think the Federation will do anything more to attack them in this regard because they've already done it. I mean, Queen Alanim. And nobody is happy about this, obviously. So they already made a bad move, terrible move. So, I don't think they'll keep doing anything. Then again, I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I wonder what the Urmas are doing. What are they thinking? Someone said they are very patient. Cats are very patient. They watch their prey for a long time. Have you seen them? I've had cats, and they just stand there and watch, and then they pounce. So maybe that's what they're doing. They sharpen their claws. They might be doing that. I think so. I think the wolves they're probably here. I'm thinking where they are. They're probably coming. What do they call the wolves? Galactic wolves? Cannot remember what name she used. But that was an interesting video because it was an odd video, wasn't it? when she's all of a sudden started talking about wolves. And I'm like, why is she talking about wolves? And she said in her video, Mary said in her video, oh, I was just thinking the other day, about wolves. I'm like, you were? Why? And she didn't say anything. And she just started talking about wolves and their history on Earth and what they were like, etc. And I thought that was weird. And it was quite sneaky. And in my Telegram group, someone said, it's they're probably coming or they are probably already here. Like the Urmas. So they are going to be wonderful to have here. But it was quite sneaky on of Mary to suddenly just introduce that, that video about wolves, galactic wolves. What do they call it? Space wolves, wolves, wolf, space wolves. Am I saying it right? You know what I'm like, what I'm trying to say. But she's funny like that, isn't she, Mary? She just introduces videos, and I thought, why is she talking about wolves? Of all the races that she could be talking about, it was the wolves, space wolves. Now it makes sense, which is which also you start to realize, okay, things are getting things are getting difficult up there in orbit, and the wolves are here. I think if they could be arriving soon, or they might be already here to help. Uh, we already have 5 Taketan ships. There used to be 1. Toleka might be refurbished and be coming back soon. The Toleka ship. Uh, yeah. So that's interesting in regards to Mary. Also, she spoke before telling us about the Andromedan. The video before, she started talking about karma. So it could the Andromedan be releasing karma by telling her, warning her that they're going to do something? Because maybe he said a lot more, not just what she said. She told us. Maybe what she told us was only part of the conversation they had. I think we have to look at her videos. I'm always putting Mary under a microscope. And I've said this openly over and over again. I put everything they say under a microscope. Then I read the comments of other star seeds. Because a lot of information they're not going to say straight out. But she will leave that information there for us to figure it out. And I am not superhuman. I'm not going to figure it all out. So I go and read your comments and the Telegram. I'm actually going to start writing the names of the comments that I find I would like to relay that information here. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start writing down the names of the people. Since it is a public forum, yeah. If you don't want it to be public, you may not want to comment. I am never negative, by the way. I never put anyone down. I do not put star seeds down, no matter what they say, what they do, what point of view they have. I just not going to put them down. Everybody has their own freedom to express what they feel and what they want. If you are obviously disrespectful, then I will have to block you. But otherwise, I will never be vindictive or put you down. No. I mean, we are here to raise the frequency and keep a high frequency, obviously. So doing that, it's contra- counterproductive. I mean, seriously? No, it's not going to happen. Not with me. I'm going to say hello to you. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it that you are here talking to me. Robert from Australia, I will very close. How are you? How's Australia? It's raining here and it's cold. I'm so happy that it's cold because then I can wear this humongous and bear like thing. I don't know what to call it. Good morning. John Wiley. Hi, how are you? Did you find out who the other Andromedan is? It is that one. Is it Morion? Morion? I really wonder who that Andromedan is, so then I can go on the internet and find out more. Robert says there's one rule for the Fed and many, many rules for us. Yes. Yeah. It's crazy. And John Wiley says, Mary ruffling up more than a few feathers in the DF Galactic Federation. All the useless idiot races. You know? Seems like a lot of the races are more asleep on their 5D matrix than us here with regards to the Galactic Federation. See, I didn't know they were. I'm actually really surprised that they don't realize what is going on. They have to wake up. And in some way, well, I don't blame them, especially if they are holistic. They do concentrate on high frequencies, so they're not going to start looking at low frequency planets. I mean, what's the point? And sometimes as well, it's not going to be in their experience. If you don't focus on something, it does not become your experience, so you are oblivious to it. Yeah, so I understand it in some ways. In other levels, well, this can happen, because the thing is that these races are part of the federation, so they need to know what they are part of. I think they're starting to know now what's going on, and we also. Robert Australia says, whenever I need to voice my opinion, etc., I can only get as far as a local member. Yeah. Or a dopey front desk person here on Earth. Me too. It's ridiculous when we need to go direct to the top. Yeah. No, it's really difficult here to get any answers. You can't, basically. They're all busy. I mean, if you want to talk to the local government, the top one, you might be able to get a hearing, but he's just going to hear you and say, oh, I'll take that into consideration. Well done. Yeah, that's it. And they'll, he's not going to do anything. And he's a puppet. And he's a puppet as well. So what's the point? And if you go higher up, it depends on the country, you might be able to talk to the president, but he's the puppet. So what's the point? So in regards to us trying to get a hold of someone who actually has any direct influence here, we don't have access to them. You would have to go to Antarctica and you won't be able to get there. Or you would have to go to the Vera ship. You can't go there either. So we don't have access as human beings. We do not have access to to anybody important in that regard. So all we can do here, sometimes I'm thinking all I can do here, and just, this cliche again of just holding the light. When you hear a lot of star seeds, I'm just holding a light. And truly, that's all we're doing. We are holding a light. We are holding our frequency, and try to shift it. We are doing our work here. It's hard work. It can be hard work, isn't it? I don't know if it's been hard for you guys, but it can be hard work, um, to hold the torch. I hate all those lines. I really hate them. Uh, but it can be fun. I think that if you truly feel that you can have so much fun that you're just bursting, I think that's a big kick. I think that's a big bomb that you can drop at any time. To be honest, it is. And sometimes it just seems so silly to think that when you are just having fun, like truly your energy is just, you're just having the best time. It is ingrained in us that that is useless. That's not serious. That's not working. That you're not doing anything. You're wasting your time. And it is actually the complete opposite. It is ingrained in us, though, to put that down, not to take it into consideration as the most important aspect of life, of your life here on earth at this point in time. And it's okay, to have this automatic knee jerk reaction of when you are having fun, saying, I have to stop now and get some real work done. You know, I have to go to bed because tomorrow I'm going to be tired and I have to go to work. We are constantly automatically telling ourselves, you're wasting your time. This is no good. And it is also, for me, it is ingrained as a cliche, and it's something that is useless. I mean, what's the point? And it is. And it is actually what we need to do, what we can do. What's the best thing we can do? It's that. Some people want to go and drop the bomb, and they want to do that, and they think that's the best, that's really what's needed. Might be for them, but for me, it's the other one. I'm sure of it. I think that people who act here as well, as you say, you go and act, you go to the local council, you go and talk and have a conversation and try to get things going. I think those people that are active here reflect how they are outside. So you were probably someone who went to the federation, who was there, and I think it's a reflection. Um, yeah, I think so. I wonder sometimes if it helps in any way to do uh, that, to have that action here, to take that action here on earth in that regard. Try to get things changed by going to the council, by going to the government, by going to these entities that have so much power over what it needs to be done on earth, in regards to the health, in regards to conflict, etc. I really wonder if it has any effect at all. Like, does it help in any way, and I'm thinking it has zero effect. I mean, I think it doesn't even. Some people will say, well, there's a 25% chance that you might get something done. Hey, 20%, 20% chance, 25% chance that you can get something done. I can take it. I will take it sometimes, better than nothing. But in all honesty, I think there's just 0% chance that anything's going to be done. Maybe it's going to be something's going to be done in a very um, local in your neighborhood way. Like for example, the change in the way they take the rubbish from the neighborhood. The truck comes and takes your rubbish. So you might have a direct input on that, but higher than that, I sincerely don't think so because it is so tightly handled because they obviously, when there is a politician that goes against what needs to be done, suddenly he or she dies or he or she decides to leave. Something happens to that person. So they have it really tightly handled. And I think that there is another easier way. There is another easier way. And I think it's handling your own life, your own immediate life. I think that's the most useful and efficient way to use your life and your energy here. It's to take care of your frequency, I think. Mm, I think so. It's also what Mary, Jassy, and all the Tibetans keep telling us. The best thing you can do is to take care of your own space and yourself. It's the best thing you can do. And I truly believe that. I've come to my own, I didn't just take that from them and just made it myself, made it mine. I came to that conclusion on my own before I heard their videos. So I came to that conclusion as well, and I agree with it. I agree with them. So I agree with them because I came to the conclusion myself. Yeah. I think that having having all of us, all star seeds from around the world, that's another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. You know what? It was funny because I was thinking, what can we do down here? And why are we all scattered around the world? Have you realized that? That we are scattered around the world. It's like an even, isn't it? Don't you find like it's evenly scattered around the world? Um, some places have more star seeds than others. And I thought, it's like the pyramid. It's like we're doing what the pyramids were doing before they were bombarded and dismantled. Because the pyramids were constructed for many reasons, and one of them was to uh, increase the frequency of this earth. So we're basically like the pyramids, and the pyramids would have they are everywhere in the world. In fact, there are still pyramids are still being found around the world, either in the sea or underground. or in the forest. So these pyramids, they all had a link, energetic link, so they could raise the frequency of this earth. That's one of the reasons for their construction. So they are not working. So we are doing that work. We're basically the pyramids. We're doing the work of what the pyramids were doing before us. Isn't that the most interesting thing? And for these pyramids to work well, they need to have this connection between them. And how do we have connection between us, starseeds from around the world? Well, it's by talking to each other, by focusing on ourselves, by focusing on each other and having a conversation and having an interaction because we're focusing on. So we're making a link. That's why as well there's no point in fighting with other starseeds. You may offer a different point of view, which is fine, but start fighting with other starseeds, forget it. There's no point. The idea is to have a connection, and that connection is being done through funny that through these social media platforms, YouTube, Telegram, etc. So that's why it's so important, I think, to to have these communities where you talk to each other. And you might say, well, what do I need to do? Well, you don't need to do anything, just focusing on just having a conversation with others, just reading the comments on Telegram or YouTube or whatever, um, or just say hello to someone or whatever. You create that link. It's not hard. We are all doing it now. So that's the advantage, I think, of these type of communication platforms. So I think that we are the pyramids, the equivalent of the pyramids. Isn't that amazing? I found that just the most amazing thing. So we are holding the ground here. We are holding the frequency here, and the people up there in orbit, they're doing what they need to do. And it's nice that Mary is letting us uh, know what's going on and what they're doing, and what the Federation is saying, and what they are talking about. And she's describing it, which is amazing. I love it when she describes things. When she said that there are people that say to her, we do not want to hear your drama. Well, in all honesty, I think that drama is normal part of our life, of being human, of being someone. I think whether you are someone here or someone in Taigueta or someone whatever in Avion, you have that what you call drama, that uh, everyday things that happen. Um, and that's really important. It's really important that she shares that type of information. When she started sharing that, and I was always happy with that, I was happy because it it gives humans here, because we have a human point of view. It makes us one have a connection because we can see each we can see us in them. So that's when you make a connection with someone. So if they say, "Oh, I had to go to the loo because I had to pee," believe it or not, when you hear an extraterrestrial say that, you're like, "Huh," and you make a link because you say, "Oh, that's how I feel when I have to go to pee." I have a feeling I need to pee, so I go to pee. And some people say, "Why is she saying that? Why is she wasting my time?" So it creates a link. So you're able to understand that you're able to understand it and integrate the information, because being down here, as brainwashed as we are, and as the perception is being guided for you to think and have this belief without you even knowing, it's a program that's been inserted in you to feel that you're alone, that extraterrestrial people and people out there actually do not exist, that you are all alone here, and that what NASA tells you is the truth. It's a program that they are playing over and over again, nonstop, so that you integrate it in yourself. So that's why I think a lot of people are saying we don't want to hear the drama, because that drama, it's what really makes you have a link to the person outside and believe that, wait a minute, they are actual people. There's a difference. There's a difference when you feel you can relate to someone, as when you think there is someone so different to you that you just, it's out there. That's what they want us to think, that extraterrestrial might exist somewhere, and they are these weird things, these entities that they just levitate. They travel in their Merkaba, and they are fussy things. They're with high frequency, and they are very enigmatic. And that's it. That's extraterrestrials. You build no link. You start being. It becomes another god. That they are up there and we are down here. That's not what we want, and that's not what they want. They are people, just like you and me. They're people. They might be different. Formas are different. Yeah, we are very different to them. Human beings, very different to them. But they are people. They just look different. They feel different. But they are people. They also go and pee. So this link that we are having with them, it's really important in a way to have a link to other people outside this earth. It's through those stories, those mundane stories. So I just love it when she shares these things in her videos. It's funny because it might be a contradiction, because, see, this is the thing. People who are just waking up, star seeds are just waking up, and they realize, wait a minute, they are extraterrestrials out there. We're not alone. They're just waking up. When they hear that they are people like us, they feel the need to pee, and they go and pee in a toilet, like our toilets. They get there and they have they have doubts, like, how can they be like us? I mean, how can they have a loo? How can they have the same chair that I have? It's because we're made to believe that they are enigmatic. They are levitating somewhere. They're so different to us. So we cannot relate. So because we cannot relate, we feel alone. We start making this space between us, that we can't reach them, they can't reach us. Or the only way we can reach them is through meditation and channeling. How can they possibly be typing directly from orbit? So yes, it is a contradiction. But they want it to be a contradiction so that we keep feeling alone and deserted here. And that makes us, apparently, to them, that makes us weak. So it lowers our frequency. So it's great that Mary is saying all these things, because we make a link. Sometimes it's subconscious, you don't know it. And you start making this link, and you really start believing, all your cells start believing that you're not alone, and you get stronger. It's quite the game. It's quite the psychological game. It's important. So enjoy if you're not already, enjoy those stories, those drama stories, because subconsciously they will link you. You will feel a resonance, and you will get stronger because we're not alone here. That's for sure. Now, John Wiley says there's also Shiva who was Andromedan. Yeah, Shiva was Andromedan, but I don't know if Shiva is the one Mary is talking about. So I don't know who is currently the Andromedan, like the official Andromedan that has some communication with some human right now here on Earth. I wonder. Mm. Oh, there's hair from my coat flying around. It is sunny in Australia. That's so good. It's very rainy and wet here. Hi, Kian. How are you? Nice for you to visit. Thank you. Yeah, I do not consent. That's so important, isn't it? You know, that aspect of I do not consent uh, that you sent videos in, that was a really good idea. And I think that it is something that it would be good to take up in our everyday lives, that when we see something happen, we can just say to ourselves, we don't have to shout it or say anything. We can just say it to ourselves, I do not consent now. Because it's the energy. It's not so much the words of I do not consent, it's the energy that you say, no, this is not. This I do not want this to be part of my life. So it is. It's. I think the energetic aspect of it. It's what actually makes it work. But tricky. This is tricky though, because one thing is to say do not consent and be calm with it, and the other is to say do not consent and focus on the negativity. This is when it gets detrimental, because if you start focusing on something that you do not consent, you start vibrating in that what you're looking at that you do not want. So then it becomes your reality. So you see more and more and more, and it gets bigger. So it's quite tricky. So the idea is to say, I do not consent. You know where you stand, you're good with it. And if you can do something about it, good. But if you start feeling like off, that's when you have to stop, because then it starts to make your reality and you make it a reality. That's how they manipulate you here on this earth. Because the cabal, they cannot, uh, they don't, they cannot, what do they say? They cannot realize something. We do. We realize everything here. They do not. So they need us to guide us into what they want. So they need to guide us so that we make a reality the negative aspects of something. So if you concentrate on something you don't want by saying I do not consent, and you spend too much time of it, the most possible outcome is that you will start actually creating that negative aspect that you do not want. Because what you focus on, no matter what it is, whether you like it or not, it becomes your reality. You create it because it needs your focus for it to be created. For something to be created, it needs a focus from someone with a soul, so from you. So it's a tricky thing, this do not consent. So the idea is to do not consent, No, we don't want this, and then do something fun to forget about it. So it's quite tricky. It's quite a it's yeah. It can be easy to once you understand it, some people need a little bit of time to understand that. Uh, then you just flow. You start once you understand that, it's easier to discern what you focus on, what you put your attention on, what you put your energy on, what you act on, and how you act. Once you understand it, it's really important. That's why I dislike the book The Secret. I do not like that book because it messes people up in regards to the law of mirrors. Because what you focus, you create on, and I do not like that book. It messed it up. And they took that information from the Abraham Hicks. Abraham Hicks are the ones that started the movement of the law of attraction. They do a really good work. That's the real stuff. That's the good stuff. And the author from The Secret took that information from them. In fact, the very, very first edition had this information thanks to the Abraham Hicks. On the next edition, she took that away. Um, and she's twisting it. And I'm really unhappy about that book. If anybody wants to know more about the law of attraction, go to Abraham Hicks. That's where the beginning is. That's the good stuff. Yeah. Just so you know. Mm, mm. John Wiley says, could it be some of the cadets are Hashmalines and Shinanims? Seems they have been beefing up their fleet. Yes, they definitely have. And I'm sure they are. Maybe they know something like this was coming. Yes, it's been a while now that they know something's been coming. As soon as these type of ships stopped coming, dreadnoughts and as such, I thought, whoa, something is going on because what's the point of bringing these type of ships here? Uh, and that's when I started getting worried. I remember. Yeah. So this has been going on for a while. But since they didn't say anything, because Queen Eleanor had another way of doing things. I don't know what she did. Apparently, she did excellent work. Obviously, we just didn't know. Um, Mary now is letting us know, so we don't know what happened before. Maybe what's happening now has been happening for a while now, so it's all news. I don't. I wonder. Did I miss anything? We're talking Kian. We're talking about the latest videos, Mary's video, the Andromedan from the Federation talking to Mary. It's basically was a scolding of some type. It was ridiculous. So we were just talking about that. Anyway, spitting here. So that's my stand on it. It's weird. Is it a warning from the Federation? Yeah, I think it's a warning, plain and simple. And also, I think they're trying to, at least the Andromedans, maybe they're just trying to release karma, but by saying what they're going to do, they release karma. So, I mean, they are smart. It's nice to know that they turn light purple when they get angry. I, I didn't know that. They turn light purple. Um, I didn't know they were called the Smurfs. I was just reading the telegram, and some people call them the Smurfs. So in case you see that name, it's the Andromedans. Um, yeah, well, the thing is that as far as we do understand that it's not all Andromedans. It's just some of the people that are in the federation, the lower federation, that uh, are quite regressive, and he just happens to be Andromedan. Kian says, yes, it was ridiculous. It was. I think it had, no, that's the perfect word. It was ridiculous. That, you know, when I started learning about this, when I heard how they um, they talk to the races, uh, the way they behaved, I was just, I I think I was kind of in shock. I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. And now that I've digested it, I was able to swallow it. It's like a bitter pill. You just cannot swallow it. But once you swallow it, you are like, yeah, it's ridiculous, and you can move forward, I think, with your thoughts and understand this better, and trying to find a way to get through it, and trying to have an opinion on this, because when you are in shock about the behavior of such an entity, it's just, you like freeze, and you just don't know what to say and what to do. uh, but I am now becoming, yeah, apparently it's normal. And Kian says, I think it has been going on for a while. I think so. Yeah, it's going for a long time. It just has become more polarized in the recent months. Yes, exactly. So let's see what happens. Obviously, uh, they are doing their best to scare everyone here. Now we have to remember that 80% of the population is a program. They do not exist, and they will follow whatever craziness is happening in the news. So we are seeing people going crazy, getting scared. And you got to remember that 80% is the program. So don't let it ruffle you. Just don't pay any attention to it. It's not true. Um, and they are trying to get another, uh, how can I say this? You know what happened in the last, what, 4 years ago? It's been a while now. They want to do it again. Now, apparently, it's the monkeys' um, turn. And you know what I think as well they're trying to do? They're trying to cover the deaths that we're going to have now on this new thing that's happening. Cover it because people are dying because of the papayas. The papayas, that's what we call them. So they need to cover it with something. They need to blame something quickly. So they're doing this quickly. And it looks so ridiculous to us. It looks so ridiculous. And we wonder, how are people believing this? But remember, most of them are programs. So don't get worried about that. Don't let's not get angry that we see so many people believing it. Remember, they are matrix, they're programs. They will do that. So ignore those. The most important thing is for you to understand that it's just ridiculous. They're trying to do something, and I think they want to cover. They want to cover the deaths that's happening from the papayas. And what else are they doing? It's nice. Okay. Yeah, they turn purple. I had no idea they turned purple. Okay. So, well, that's it. That's it from my video um, today. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Um, Thank you for chatting with me. This is fun. I like it. And thank you for your comments. If you have any comment, if you do know who the Andromedan is, the famous Andromedan, can you leave it in the comments, the name? We would love to know. I really don't know. I've been asking around. I'll keep asking around and see someone might have an answer. I try to figure it out. I try to go on the internet and find a way, and I couldn't find anything. Um, so I don't really know. I actually went to Alex Collier's YouTube channel and I looked at the latest video and I thought, oh, 2 hours ago, let's see what he has to say. And I thought that was weird. And then I realized it was a video from 2018. 2018 that he published 2 hours ago. So that's of no use there. So those things annoy me. That's one of the things that annoys me of the internet. So it's time consuming and it drives me crazy. So if you know of the name of this Andromedan, let us know in the comments. We would love to know. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And I will go now and do a live in Spanish. Thank you so much. And we'll see each other in the next live. Thank you for being here, guys. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.